Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you today about something that touches all of us: loneliness. But not just any loneliness. This is the kind of loneliness that at times feels unbearable, the kind that women face more than men. The reason why women hate being alone more than men lies in something deeply rooted within us. Women by nature are often deeply wired to form emotional connections and foster a nurturing presence in the lives of those they care about. From an early age, society encourages women to embrace roles that center around empathy, compassion, and understanding. This emotional depth becomes an integral part of their identity. Women are not just looking for companionship, they are seeking a bond that allows them to invest emotionally, to nurture, and to care. The act of caring for others isn't something that feels like an obligation, but rather a reflection of who they are at their core. They thrive in relationships because through these bonds, they feel a sense of purpose and fulfillment. When alone, however, this nurturing instinct can turn inward, leaving a void that is hard to fill. The need for emotional connection is not simply about having someone around, it's about having someone who understands, someone to share life's joys and challenges with. Women, more than men, can feel the absence of this deep emotional connection because of how much they invest in others. Their emotional intelligence often drives them to seek out not just surface level interactions, but meaningful ones that provide them with a sense of security, acceptance, and warmth. The presence of loved ones, whether family, friends, or a partner, gives women a sense of belonging. They are drawn to the act of listening, supporting, and being emotionally available for others, which simultaneously creates a circle of care where they too are cared for. When that circle is broken and they are left alone, it can leave them feeling ungrounded, disconnected, and unsure of themselves. This is not just loneliness in the traditional sense, it is a deep yearning for the emotional connection that feels so integral to their existence. Moreover, the nurturing nature of women extends beyond just the people around them. It often involves nurturing their environment, their communities, and their relationships. It can even be seen in how they care for themselves when they are in these fulfilling connections. But when alone, it's easy for women to feel lost in their own thoughts, questioning their value and wondering if they are being true to themselves. The absence of these deep emotional connections can make it harder for them to reconcile their inner world with the outer world, leaving them more vulnerable to the negative impacts of isolation. From the moment they are born, women are shaped by cultural expectations and gender roles that often dictate how they should behave, think, and even feel. Society's influence on women is profound, setting standards that require them to act as caregivers, nurturers, and emotional anchors. These roles are embedded in every aspect of life, from childhood stories to media portrayals, and they are often internalized in ways that become difficult to challenge. As women grow, these expectations push them to place others' needs before their own, to be the backbone of their families, friends, and communities. They are taught to be the selfless ones, the emotional glue that holds everything together. Being alone can feel like an abandonment of these roles, a failure to live up to the societal standards placed upon them. Women may struggle with a sense of guilt when they are by themselves, as though they are not fulfilling their duty as caregivers or as someone who is always expected to be there for others. In a world where a woman's value is often measured by her ability to care for those around her, solitude can create a disconnect from the sense of purpose that these roles provide. This emotional weight can make loneliness feel like more than just an absence of companionship. It becomes a personal shortcoming, something that feels unnatural and isolating. Furthermore, many women are socialized to believe that their worth is tied to the relationships they cultivate. The idea that a woman's life should be defined by her roles as wife, mother, or caregiver reinforces the expectation that she should never be alone. The pressure to fit into these molds can make solitude feel like a judgment on their success in these areas. If a woman is alone, society may question why, offering unsolicited opinions or pity, reinforcing the idea that solitude is not only undesirable but also a failure in some way. This conditioning often leads to women suppressing their own needs and desires in favor of others, whether they are managing the emotional needs of their families, friends, or colleagues. Being alone forces them to confront the reality that they have been conditioned to view their worth as dependent on their connection to others. The longer women remain in this role, the harder it becomes to break free from the notion that their identity should revolve around their relationships with others rather than their own individual needs and desires. Loneliness is more than just a feeling of being alone. It is a deep emotional experience that affects mental health in profound ways. For women, loneliness can manifest as a sense of emotional isolation, where the absence of meaningful connections creates an internal void that becomes harder to ignore. Unlike physical isolation, emotional loneliness seeps into the mind and spirit, often leading to feelings of inadequacy, sadness, or anxiety. The silence that comes with being alone can become deafening, a reminder of what's missing, and the longer it lingers, the more it impacts overall mental well-being. For women, the pressure to always be emotionally available for others can intensify the effect of loneliness. It's as if in the absence of others, they feel disconnected from the emotional roles they have been taught to embody. The void of emotional support can lead to feelings of emptiness, depression, or a sense of being lost in one's own thoughts. This is especially true when women's emotional needs are continually overlooked or suppressed in favor of fulfilling the needs of others. Mental health struggles stemming from loneliness can have far-reaching consequences. The internalized belief that women should always be strong, nurturing, and in control can create a disconnect between their external appearance and their internal state. Women may put on a mask, pretending everything is fine, when on the inside they are battling a heavy emotional burden. This dissonance between what they feel and what they are expected to portray can be exhausting, leading to heightened stress, anxiety, and depression. These mental health challenges are not only a result of being physically alone, but also stem from the lack of emotional connection and validation. Without a support system or meaningful relationships, women can begin to feel that their struggles are invisible and that they have no one to turn to. This sense of emotional abandonment exacerbates feelings of loneliness and can create a cycle that becomes harder to break. The longer the loneliness persists, the more entrenched these negative feelings can become. For many women, loneliness isn't just a fleeting emotion, it's a profound emotional burden that can shape their mental health for years. It chips away at their sense of self-worth, causing them to question their value and their ability to connect with others. The loneliness that comes with isolation isn't simply an absence of company. It's a reminder that the emotional connections they crave are missing, and this lack of fulfillment can be mentally overwhelming. Social validation plays a significant role in how women perceive their worth and value in society. From a young age, many women are taught that their identity is closely tied to how others see them. They are often raised to be caregivers, to nurture, and to ensure the well-being of those around them. This emotional investment in relationships leads women to seek validation through their interactions with others, whether it's from family, friends, or partners. This validation becomes a driving force, a way to confirm that their efforts are noticed and appreciated. The feedback they receive from others reinforces their self-worth, creating a sense of security and purpose in their lives. However, when women find themselves alone, this validation can become scarce, leaving them to question their value. Without the external validation from others, women may struggle with feelings of inadequacy, as if they are no longer seen or recognized. This is especially true in a society that often emphasizes external appearances and relationships as measures of success. Women are taught to be the nurturers, to be present for others, and when that role is taken away, it can create a deep sense of invisibility. Social validation provides a sense of belonging, and without it, women may feel like they are floating in a sea of isolation. The absence of this validation doesn't just impact how they feel about themselves in the moment, it can trigger deeper self-doubt and anxiety, creating a cycle that is difficult to break. For many women, the absence of validation can lead to a distorted sense of self. If they are not constantly receiving acknowledgement or appreciation from those around them, they may begin to feel as though they don't matter. This can lead to feelings feelings of worthlessness, especially when they've been conditioned to define themselves by the relationships they maintain. When they are alone, there is no one to mirror their emotions, no one to reinforce their importance, and no one to validate their existence. The solitude becomes a harsh reminder of what is missing. The emotional connection that once made them feel seen and heard. The search for social validation can become so ingrained that women begin to rely on external approval as a source of self-esteem. When alone, this foundation crumbles, leaving them to confront the uncomfortable reality that their worth is not inherently tied to others' opinions. Without that external reinforcement, women may begin to question their identity, struggling to find the strength to validate themselves from within. The absence of social validation can make them feel isolated not only from others, but also from their own sense of self. Women often find a unique sense of comfort in togetherness, a deep and fulfilling connection with others that provides emotional security and reassurance. From childhood to adulthood, the bond of shared experiences and mutual support plays a central role in shaping their lives. Togetherness offers women a sense of belonging, a reminder that they are not alone in the world. It provides the foundation for emotional resilience as they find strength in their relationships with family, friends, and partners. The act of being with others allows women to share their joys, sorrows, and vulnerabilities, creating an environment where they feel understood and supported. This shared space fosters a sense of security that helps them navigate life's challenges with a sense of ease. When women are surrounded by those they care about, they experience a feeling of emotional warmth that can often be hard to replicate when they are alone. The laughter of friends, the comforting presence of family, or the deep connection with a partner all serve to reinforce a woman's sense of purpose and identity. These connections create a support network, a space where they are nurtured and where their emotions are not only understood but also valued. The comfort of togetherness offers a sense of balance and peace that can be hard to find in solitude, where the mind may become overwhelmed with unanswered questions or lingering doubts. In times of difficulty or distress, togetherness becomes a source of strength. Women draw comfort from knowing they have someone to lean on, someone who shares in their struggles and is willing to offer both emotional and practical support. This sense of interdependence provides a safety net, cushioning them from the harshness of the world. It's not just about having people around. It's about having people who make you feel anchored, who affirm your worth and remind you that you are not isolated in your experiences. However, when women are left alone, the comfort of this togetherness vanishes, and they are left to navigate their emotions without the reassurance of others. The quiet that fills the space can feel unsettling, and the absence of human connection may amplify feelings of loneliness. The longer a woman is isolated, the more intense this longing for togetherness becomes, and the more she may crave the emotional warmth that only close relationships can provide. This discomfort with solitude is not simply about being physically alone, it's about the emotional and psychological impact that comes from missing the connection that offers them solace and strength. The power of companionship and support is immeasurable, especially for women who often derive a great sense of strength from the relationships they build. For many women, companionship isn't just about having someone to pass the time with. It's about sharing experiences, challenges, and triumphs with someone who truly understands. In relationships, whether familial, platonic, or romantic, women often feel an immense sense of empowerment. They are not just sharing moments, but they are building a sense of mutual respect, trust, and security that sustains them through difficult times. This companionship offers emotional support that goes beyond mere presence. It becomes a source of strength that helps women cope with the uncertainties of life. When women have the support of those around them, they are often more resilient. They can lean on their loved ones during times of hardship, knowing that they are not facing challenges alone. This support network provides validation, comfort, and encouragement that can help them feel capable of overcoming any obstacle. It can be in the form of a simple conversation, a shared laugh, or someone offering a listening ear when life becomes overwhelming. Companionship fosters an emotional bond that makes women feel seen, heard, and appreciated. This feeling of being emotionally supported allows them to be more confident, both in their personal lives and in their endeavors. Moreover, the power of companionship helps alleviate the negative impact of loneliness, which can often lead to self-doubt and emotional distress. Having someone to share one's thoughts with can release pent-up emotions, reduce stress, and offer clarity. Supportive relationships provide a sense of emotional security, offering a safe space for women to express their true selves without fear of judgment. The feeling of being supported nurtures self-worth and reminds women of their value, even when faced with challenges or setbacks. When women are deprived of this companionship and support, the absence is often felt deeply. The absence of a reliable support system can lead to feelings of vulnerability and isolation, magnifying the impact of difficulties and challenges. Without someone to lean on, they may feel that they are navigating life alone, which can lead to emotional exhaustion and a sense of being overwhelmed. The lack of emotional support erodes their confidence, leaving them more susceptible to anxiety, self-doubt, and stress. Thus, the companionship and support of loved ones provide women with an essential foundation to build their strength, resilience, and emotional well-being. In the end, the power of companionship and support is an essential part of the human experience. For women, it is not just about having others around, it's about the deep emotional bonds that offer strength, encouragement, and validation. These relationships become the pillars that help women navigate life's challenges and celebrate its joys. When surrounded by those who genuinely care, women feel empowered to face anything that comes their way. Yet, when that support is missing, the emotional toll can be immense, reminding us of just how crucial human connection truly is. It is through these bonds that women find not just comfort, but the resilience to continue moving forward with purpose and confidence.